Hi, welcome back. I'm Connie Colosi, Director of Media Text and Digital Learning for Pinellas County Schools, and we are here today with two of my colleagues, James Wilson and Karen Todd, and we are talking about the new learning management system, Canvas, that we are going to deploy for the 2021 school year. So let's take a little bit of a dive into Canvas and see what it looks like. So first of all, James, how do we get to Canvas?
So all staff and students will navigate to Canvas through our Clever dashboard. So Karen's on Clever, and we can see we've placed an icon right inside of Canvas that says PCS Canvas Login.
So when she hovers over that, I saw a little heart. How'd that heart get there?
So with Clever, you can select or heart your courses or apps that you want to get to the quickest, and it'll move them to your favorite section. So just hover over it, click the heart, and it will move up to your favorite section.
Yeah, so we have so many resources available to students and teachers on Clever that sometimes it can get a little confusing because there's so many, and this gets it up there where we can find it, those things. And so just to point out, Karen's favorites. We're getting a glimpse into Karen's world here because she has her Office 365 highlighted, Algebra Nation coming from being a math teacher. She might not need that going forward. She's got her Teams, Safari Montage, district employee stuff she needs to do, Focus, Nearpod, Outboard. So all those things that she needs to have quick access to, she has favorited. So when you click then on Canvas, it opens up your dashboard. And right here we have when it first popped on, by the way, there's a global message. And so we were able to, James had some information he wanted all teachers to be able to see as they're beginning to work. And so that's a global message that James put out there. And so important information teachers can find posted there. And students can find information that their teachers have posted or that their principals have posted. Do I have that right?
That's correct. Principals can post messages for their site, so anything they need for their school can go out to all the teachers at the school, and then teachers can post announcements for their courses so that there's one place that they can get a message to all of their students.
That's going to be handy.
It is.
All right. So when she scrolls down there, she's going to see now her dashboard. And tell us about what we're seeing there, Karen.
So on your dashboard, you have a section for your published courses and your unpublished courses. So on mine right now, you can see the Pinellas County Schools Canvas teacher training that the teachers are working through to get acquainted with the overall general view and options and methods that they can use with their students coming up for this school year when they take that training course. You can also see a class that I have created that has been published, and then two other courses, the resource center for the district, and then one of the other teams that I am on with the digital learning, my CTIP group. So those are my 4 published courses. And then if you scroll further down, you can see all of the courses that I have been working on or have been pushed out to me that I have not quite published yet.
Okay. So let's take a look at that algebra course there and kind of get an idea about what it looks like when a student comes into a course. So James, what are we looking at here?
So this is our home page. For the district, we got some feedback that parents would like to see more consistency in the way that students navigate and the way that pages look. So each of the executive directors chose a theme or a template for the grade bands that they are in charge of. Here we're looking at the middle school template because Karen was a middle school math teacher. But here's our home page that can be customized so that Karen has changed it so that she's included her own welcome banner to, say, Algebra 1 Honors, which is the name of the course. And then if she scrolls down, we'll see she added a quick little brief welcome to our Algebra 1 Honors class. And then what's important is these quick access links, which for teachers and students will remain the same across the board, meaning that there's consistency in how they navigate when they're taking or participating in the remote learning through Canvas.
Okay, so to recap there, she was able to customize the top title and banner,
Yes.
not changing the official name of the course. That's critical that that doesn't get changed.
Right.
And then not changing these quick access links and what we find there. So the general look can be customized, but the layout is going to stay the same. So what does it look like when the student actually wants to get down to business and do some work? Where will they find that?
So Karen's going to switch quickly to student view, which all teachers can do to actually see what their course looks like from the student perspective. And then if she scrolls down to the quick navigation, there's a section called Learning Modules. So if she clicks there, that's where the student will click to begin learning in her course. For students, they can only see what's been published. And so we can see that she has her week 1 already set up. So as a student, they come in and they can see that for the first week, here's what we're learning on Monday, classifying polynomials. And then Karen has some information for them. She has practice for them as well. So she laid out the entire week, day by day, so that the student is clear on what needs to be accomplished.
How does the student see what's due?
So 2 ways. So if Karen returns to the home page, just stay in student view and returns to the home page. And so right there where her cursor is, the first thing in every course is a to-do list that shows up on the home page. Any assignments that have been assigned, discussion posts, or anything will show up right on this list so that every single assignment is listed here for this course. What's great is that not only can they find out the due dates here, if Karen clicks on calendar in the global navigation, students will be able to go to their calendar and see any course that they have assignments for, all listed in one place.
Oh, so this isn't just the math class.
Nope.
They're going to see math, science, language arts, everything due on that calendar.
So everything due on their in all of their courses in one place, color coded by date, and they can just easily click that, and it's going to be hyperlinked so that they can just click on the assignment or activity and it will navigate them right to that page.
Wow. So how is it then for My PCS Online that teachers will be interacting with live meetings with their students? How does that look?
That's a great question, and that circles us back to all we learned in the spring using Microsoft Teams, because we will facilitate live instruction via a Teams meeting. And the great thing with that is that Canvas and Teams has a built-in integration where the teacher can schedule the meeting, add it to the student's calendar, and then they can access their meeting right inside of Canvas.
All right. So as a point of detail, in the spring, as we were getting to know Teams and the meeting function, we turned off the ability for students to have cameras for a variety of reasons. This year, what's changing?
And cameras are on, so that social emotional connection that we found out students and teachers were missing, we're going to help facilitate some of that by turning cameras on for all students. So not to say that, you know, expectations have to be set by the teacher as far as camera use, but that will allow students to see one another and allow the teacher to see her students and the students to see her.
So you both have had lots of classroom experience. What kinds of expectations would you put on regarding the cameras if you were the teacher?
Well, I would first of all, obviously very clear expectations at the beginning of the year, just as you would establish classroom rules if you were in the brick and mortar school. For the teachers that are using or that are teaching with My PCS online, I would model for those students what exactly that looks like and perhaps the rules, and I haven't thought about it ahead of time right now, but as I'm thinking, to model those procedures and expectations for the students and making sure we as professionals start most of our meetings with the camera turned off and the microphone turned off to get situated, and then kind of letting students know when you are ready, when you are sitting, when it's appropriate, and going through all of those, turn the camera on, and of course I would assume we're going to keep the microphones off at the beginning so the teacher can give direction, but definitely modeling for those students what it could look like. And then also allowing them, and James, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but students going to have access to the background. Like if we as teachers can switch or put up a fake quote unquote background or a digital background. Are students going to have the ability to do that with their cameras being turned on?
Yeah, so with us turning on the camera feature, they'll be able to set a background, which could be an expectation, you know, from our teachers that, hey, we know your home is nice and lovely, but how about we all just choose one of the backgrounds so that we don't, you know, whatever is going on behind you doesn't interfere or cause, you know, distraction when we're live.
Yeah, and so there may be some students or families that for whatever reason are not comfortable even having the camera on at all, and so it is not going to be a mandate that students turn on cameras, and some of the devices that we've been able to supply don't have cameras, and we understand that some are not going to have access to cameras. So that's not a mandate, but it is going to be available for those that can. So what about teams on cell phones?
So Teams or Canvas, but both have an app. So whether the teacher is using Teams or Canvas, there are student apps for both. They're free, can be downloaded. So for those parents and students that don't have a camera on their device, they can use the app to access the camera on their phone, so we can get in that way.
So we have talked right up to time, but I do want to hit real quick on quickly on how parents can see what's happening in Canvas.
So one of the differences, one of the big differences between Teams and Canvas, with Teams, our parents really couldn't get in and see anything that was going on with their student unless they were looking over the student's shoulder. With Canvas, there's actually what's called an observer role, which will allow any parent of a student that's in Canvas to do what we call pairing with their student, so then that they can see exactly all of the content, the grades, the assignments, anything that's assigned to your student. A parent can log in on their own with a separate login. They don't have to use their students. They don't have to look over their student's shoulder. So at any time, they have the ability to go in and see what's going on inside their student's classroom.
That's going to be a great feature that I know a lot of people are going to appreciate. What's your current gut feeling about what difference Canvas is going to make for us?
I think coming on, like I said, or we've discussed here, coming from a teacher joining the digital learning team, teachers, administration, parents, and students all need to be patient and go ahead and explore and try new things, but be patient as things roll out to the different roles. And I think overall, everyone with time is going to appreciate the consistency across the platforms, and again, with the use of teams that parents and teachers and administrators are already used to. They're going to appreciate the consistency. And it might be overwhelming at the beginning with Canvas, but again, the ease of it, getting all of the stuff that teachers already have created and just putting it in the new learning management system that we're going to use, which is Canvas.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And we'll be checking back with how the Canvas rollout is going as this year progresses. Have a great 2021 school year.